Hey, this is Sheryl Mays of Rise and Shine CS. And if you really want to learn how to level up your life, you should be listening to the Time to Shine Today podcast with my friend, Scott Ferguson.
Time to Shine Today, Varsity Squad. It is Scott Ferguson, and welcome to episode 103 with a fantastic conversation I got to have with my good friend and fellow coach, Miss Sheryl Mays from Rise and Shine. She's going to tell you she's going to drop some just solid knowledge nuggets on you. So break out your notebooks, sit back and relax, because it's like a free half-hour masterclass that Sheryl puts out to you, my listeners. She's going to show you how to operate at your brilliance, how to get better, help others get better, and help those people help others get better. She's going to leave she's leaving a fantastic legacy for herself. She lives and walks the walk, or walks her talk, I guess I should say. It's just fantastic. I could go on and on about her, but without further ado, here's my really good friend, Sheryl Mays. Hey, time to shine today, Varsity Squad. It's the Scott Ferguson. And have you ever heard the word edutainment? That's my homegirl here by Florida. Well, she's more Central Florida. I'm on the East Coast, but she does scuba dive kind of here on the East Coast where I live. And it's the fantastic Sheryl Mays from risingandshining.com. And that will be in the show notes, but it's rising-and-shining.com. That will all be in the show notes. But she is fantastic. She's all about having fun and leveling up people. She's the founder and chief learning officer, speaker, and author. And you got to pick up the book, Silencing the Chatter Monsters, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm hoping that I get a signed copy. Hint, hint. Sheryl works with organizations who want to create happy, healthy, humane workplaces for increased positivity, productivity, and prosperity. Sheryl combines a business degree in administration, a talent for process improvements, 20 years of leadership experience, and has traveled throughout the country training employees and serving as keynote speakers. Wow, that is some serious credentials. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Sheryl on and ask herself to introduce her to the Time to Shine Today squad. But first, Sheryl, what emoji do you use the most when you're texting?
Oh my God. So this is so funny. Everybody just started doing their new avatars.
Right.
And so that has taken me the longest time to figure out how to do an avatar.
Okay.
And so that is my new emoji. Everything is me with the avatar.
The new avatars.
I'm upside down. I'm happy. I'm saying yes. All of that. So if you don't get an emoji from me, it's because I can't find my avatar.
I love it. And so what's your favorite color then?
My favorite color is purple.
Purple, and why?
I love purple because it's intense.
Sure.
It's there's representation of royalty and creativity, and for me, it just takes it another level deeper than what you see on the surface.
Love it. And it's like you said, it's royal and regal, and it really kind of stands up. It's a powerful color. I love it. Love purple. So tell us a little bit about your origins then. Tell us like how you started, the aha moment that got you to rise and shine.
Wow. So about 20 years ago, I won't take you back to when I was young because then we'd be here till midnight. We'll just go back a little bit.
Sure.
So about 20 years ago, I actually started working for a nonprofit organization,
okay,
the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I started as a volunteer. And I have been truly blessed to be able to work in areas of my heartstrings. So things that I have been passionate with. I've worked with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Orlando Humane Society, and Junior Achievement of Central Florida. So kids, education, and animals. That's who my heartstrings are pulled for. And so in that process, I've had the opportunity to fundraise. I've raised millions of dollars for nonprofit organizations. I've had the ability to move into the training aspect in education, and that's where I literally found my passion, my love for training, and being able to help individuals not only in the basic functionalities of their role, but to also get them to be able to bring out that champion, because I believe everybody has a champion inside of them. And you think about a football team when you're benched and you're sitting there and you're like, Coach, let me in, Coach, I want to play.
Right.
That's the champion that sits in all of us, and they're there just saying, wait, let me play, let me perform, I can do this. And so I found that I have this ability to be able to get people to that level of performance.
Wow.
And so I have, over the course of time, I am also a Jack Canfield trainer.
Okay.
And so Jack Canfield is the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Absolutely.
As principles. And what I realized from being certified as a Canfield trainer is that the success principles are what I have actually used in my own career over the course of time.
Wow.
And didn't realize that it was a term.
Right.
I was just, like they say, I was just doing me.
Right.
And so what I found out was that you have the ability, given techniques, when you're given a series of techniques that you can use that will up-level your career, that you can then take and transfer to your personal life, it makes things so much better. People talk about work-life balance. Well, we don't get a work-life balance. What we get is work-life integration.
Sure.
And so when you have the ability to use skill sets that you've learned and that have worked, and you can cross them over into your personal life, then you find that you are more capable of sustaining your success level.
Wow.
Oftentimes what I think happens is the things that you do in your career, you get home and you do something totally different.
Wow.
And so there's that, you're hitting yourself against yourself because you're not using those successful habits into your personal life.
Right.
And so that's, for me, that is that crossover. And that's what I love to be able to share with people, is to give them techniques that go, hey, this is not for today. This is not only for today, but this is for you to use in your everyday life.
I love that. And so, like, what we say, here at that, wow, that was a huge knowledge nugget that you just dropped on us. Like, it's not so much balance, because balance is zero, right? So you're looking for that harmony that can happen. And I like it with my coaching clients. We call it kind of like a jazz band, where, like, your personal life might be a guitar, your drums might be your profession, relationships are another instrument. Well, if one of them are out of tweak, it doesn't have harmony. So you kind of got to work in everyone. I love that, how you give them the techniques from their professional and personal life to sustain success. That's beautiful. So what was let me say, how do I ask it? Okay, if you're working with somebody and you went through the discovery process, you're the right fit. So what are you doing? We're asking for some secret sauce here, Sheryl. Like, what are you doing to...
You want to look under the tent.
Yes. Help them find their blind spot.
You have to ask yourself some questions. And it comes with, initially, what do you want? And oftentimes that's where people are stuck, because you don't know how to define what you want in specific, clear terms.
Sure.
I could ask you, I'd say, Scott, I'd like more money. And you go, okay, well, how much more? Like, how much more money would you need in order to get you to your goal?
Right.
So you have to be specific. I want to lose weight. Okay, well, how many pounds? At what time frame? What's your goal on being able to do this? So when you're asking questions, and when I'm talking to a client, I need to get to the core of what it is that you truly want.
Sure.
And being specific. And a lot of times that's where the hindrance is.
Right.
Because people are not truly specific, because you have not literally sat down and asked yourself, what do you want? Here's a statistic. 3% of people actually write down their goals.
Wow.
But yet 91% of the resources are maintained by 3% of the population.
Right. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So, Sheryl, is there any, when you're starting to work with a client, or even, let's take it even a little bit back, maybe even in the discovery process, to make sure you're, like we say in the coaching industry, the right horse for the course for them. Is there any question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
Probably, yeah. So I would like for them to ask me, and just typically happens after I talk, because as you can see, I'm a pretty open person.
Yeah,
And
your energy is like it's beautiful. Anyways, go ahead.
and so for me, it's just making sure that as they say that when you're swiping left, right? So on eHarmony, whichever way you swipe it's in the right direction.
Right.
Compatible. And I'm not a coach for everyone.
Sure.
I am a coach where individuals look at themselves and say, you know what, I want to move from where I am to where I want to get to.
Right.
And then I want them to ask me, are there people that I have not been able to help?
Oh, I love that. So you're kind of like, I say that that is the question. Just phrase a little differently. Like, tell me about your fails. That's what I kind of want to hear. And I can openly share about my fails. I have absolutely no problem with that. Sheryl, if I'm at a networking event, which down here in South Florida is starting to open up a little bit, if I'm at a networking event and, press and flush and meeting people and I'm talking, because I'm a listener, God gave me 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, right? And is there any keywords, phrases that I'm listening for to see if they are a great fit as a referral connection, possible client for Rise and Shine?
Absolutely. So my focus areas, I have 3 focus areas. I have 3 signature programs. So for me, the question would be, is your team at the level that you want them to be at? And that goes along with, leadership. So my primary focus is on emerging leaders, giving leaders the toolkits that will allow them to get their teams to perform to the company's objectives. So the question would be, are your teams at the level that you want them to be? Have you looked at your processes? Are you increasing your costs? Are you increasing your prices? Because I also work with individuals on processes and reviews.
Sure.
Being Lean Six Sigma certified, that is a huge aspect of what I do, is help people look at waste and how you can eliminate waste. Beautiful. And oftentimes when you talk about that, when I say waste to people, they go materials. And I'm like, it goes far beyond materials.
Cut even the emotional fat, cut all the fat off there. That's beautiful.
Exactly. And as a Lean Six Sigma practitioner, we use an acronym, and it's TIM Woods when you think about waste, right?
TIM Woods?
Yes, TIM Woods is the acronym. And it's really simple because it's transportation, inventory, motion. That's TIM. Mm-hmm. The Woods is waiting, over-processing, overproduction, defects, and skills underutilized.
Wow.
So when you think about waste, if you look, I like to say you use that third lens.
Sure.
You take that third lens and you look at your business and you go beyond just the inventory, the material pieces, but you look and go, wow, this order has been sitting in someone's email.
Sure.
So there's a waste opportunity there.
Right.
Because how long has it been there? Has it been there 48 hours? Is that person on vacation? Who's the next person to look into their emails?
Right.
It's those things of being able to look at your business and understanding how to cut costs.
Wow.
Therefore, you don't have to increase your prices.
Wow. So you help them dig into that. That's beautiful. So let's get into our DeLorean with Marty McFly. And let's go back and let's talk to the 23-year-old Sheryl Mays. What kind of knowledge nuggets are you dropping on her to maybe shorten the learning curve and level up a little faster?
I would tell her, operate in your area of brilliance.
Oh, that's strong. You hear that, squad? Operate in her level of brilliance. Wow.
I found when I became an entrepreneur, Scott, what I wanted to do was everything. Uh-huh. I tried to do everything. I did all the research. I was on YouTube finding, you go on YouTube about entrepreneurship, there's like 4 billion videos.
Right.
And I wanted to do the website. I wanted to do the marketing. I was the salesperson. I was, all things in the company.
Sure. You have to be there at the start, kind of, right? But learn to delegate it and operate where you are the strongest. Am I hearing that right, Coach?
Exactly. Okay. And I call it the 4D solution.
4D solution, okay.
Either you can dump it, you can defer it, you can delegate it, or you can do it.
I love it. Love it. I love that. So we talk a lot here on Time to Shine today about our dash. And I want to know how you want your dash remembered, that little line between your life date and death date. How do you want to be your dash be remembered? Maybe your epitaph, if you will.
It's funny you said that. I have a business mentor that I love because I go to him and I have these crazy ideas. And I go, hey, so what do you think about this? And what do you think about this? And one of the things that he shared with me that truly resonated with me, he said, one thing that you want to do as a leader, as an entrepreneur in life is to get better, help people get better, and then get better at helping people get better.
Wow.
And so although it sounds like a rhyme, it literally, when you separate it out, it makes so much sense. Get better yourself, help others to get better, and then you get better at helping them get better.
Wow. That's strong. That is super strong. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. That right there is legendary. Excuse me. That would be make you immortal. I was always taught by my business coach, my mindset coach, that the more people you mentor, the more immortal you become, because they're always passing it down. And that's where, my heart is huge for mentorship. Obviously yours is as well. And that's fantastic. So Sheryl, what do you think is the thing that most people misunderstand about you?
Wow. That I guess that I will try to help individuals through methods that they deem to be probably unconventional.
Okay. These are awesome answers. You're amazing. You are amazing because you know what? People are going to come to you and they need you because it's a breath of fresh air to them because you're like, wait a minute, she's making me do this. Yeah, because it works. You know what I'm saying? It works. And if you heard the same thing from every coach, what I love about Sheryl Squad is that she's not cookie cutter. She's saying stuff, and if you're watching on YouTube, I have notes that I've just wrote from Sheryl here, which is amazing. And what you just said is just resonates so much for my clients. I'm going to remember that. That's fantastic. So what is the BIG, the big thing that Sheryl wants to accomplish in her life?
I would like to accomplish a company that helps leaders to become better, emerging leaders. I remember back when I became a leader, and one of the things that I lacked, one of the things that was not provided for me was the proper training.
Okay.
Oftentimes, new leaders, what you get is a team that you've inherited. And so now, how do you get this inherited team to operate in a fashion that you can, get to the company's objectives, because that's your goal. You got one thing on your mind. It's like, I got to exceed these budgets.
Sure.
And
right.
So how do you do that? And so I love working with emerging leaders because we talk about empowering people, inspiring people, and not leading through fear or leading through ultimatums, but encouraging them and developing them to get to the next level. Therefore, you get to the next level. I would always tell my directors, you never chase numbers. You empower people, and the numbers take care of themselves.
Wow, that's strong. Wow, so stay empowered. Beautiful, beautiful. Sheryl, let's remove your cell phone, your laptop, your tablet, your Wi-Fi. What are 3 things that Sheryl cannot live without?
Okay, so this is so funny. During this time frame, I have a dog. I have a terrier mix, and he has become my best buddy.
Right.
And so during this time when, we are quarantined and you're keeping social distance, he has been my ride buddy. So whenever I grab my keys, he knows that I'm going in the car.
Right.
He's at the door and he is ready to get into the car.
Right.
And right now my car has so much dog hair in it. I'm going to have to pay a professional cleaner at least $100 just to get the dog hair out of my car.
So we got your dog.
Yes, it would be my dog. It would be my daughter.
Okay.
She is also an entrepreneur. She's a poet, and so she is just a phenomenal woman. And it would be my ability to be able to go out into nature and just walk and have my devotional time where I can just, talk to the creator and the universe and just have that clarity and find purpose, because that's where I find my clarity.
Love that. You're forgetting chicken wings, though, because that's my number 3. I know I'm a snob when it comes to chicken wings. So
I'm going to spend one of my 3 on food and the combination.
I love it. Hey, Sheryl, what is your definition of a life well lived?
A life well lived for me is if I have had the ability to help individuals to succeed in their life. I'm not a very materialistic person. I'm literally could be considered a minimalist because I've realized what's important. And for me, it's just, it's seeing that person that you've coached. And Scott, you've probably felt this too. You've coached this person for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and you get that phone call and they go, "Oh my gosh, you're never going to believe what happened."
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, right? And I'm like, yeah, you did something incredible. I can believe that you did something incredible. Because, the coaching happens in between the coaching, right?
It does. Absolutely.
It's in between the coaching when things happen. And so that for me is when I go, okay, I did good.
Nice.
And so I just sit back and I think about those individuals that have, written reviews or that have sent me an email or that have called me up, or even a little text message that said, "Guess what I did today? Thank you."
That's awesome.
I have a client that we're working on wording. And for me, words are so very powerful, the words that you say to yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
And so she said something and she says, "Well, I'm not good at that." And I said, "No, you're not good at that yet."
Right.
And so I said, whenever you decide to say things like that, what you're not good at or what you're not sure of, I want you to finish that sentence with the word "yet."
Love that.
Because that makes a huge difference in the mindset.
Right.
When you start to hear words differently, then you start to think differently because you have control over your thoughts and your actions and your responses. So what you say to yourself and what you speak to yourself is so very important because that gets you to your goal.
Yeah, it actually opens up your subconscious mind to believing, because your subconscious mind will believe anything. Mm-hmm. You have your gatekeeper, our conscious mind, that's out front, and it's saying, "Oh, I want that in, don't want that in." But you add your conscious mind. I love this, squad. Listen up closely. You add "yet" to the end of anything that you have not accomplished yet. You want to, "I have not lost 40 pounds yet. I have not walked every morning for 10 minutes yet." But it will start programming the mind because, you can lie to yourself enough in a good way that all of a sudden you're starting to do things and they just happen. And that. Thank you for sharing that, Sheryl. So as we wind things down a little bit, we like to do what's called a level up lightning round. So each answer, we could talk for 15, 20 minutes, but you've got 5 seconds, no explanations, and all of these can be answered with just one word or two. All right? You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. What's the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Pay attention.
Love that. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
I am a creature of action.
Creature of action. Taking action. Love that. So not what you're reading now, not the good book, not the flavor of the month. What is your go-to book?
My go-to, I have 2.
Okay.
So my first one is The Power of Focus.
Love it. I have it right here. Like literally, I have it right here. It's Canfield and 3 other authors. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And the second one is Action to Values by Harry Jensen.
Love it. I'll put both of those in the show notes. If you could be one age for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to say the age that I am now.
Love it. Favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time and or money to?
Wow. Since I've worked with three of them, and again, children, kids, education.
Yeah. And animals, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
I said children, kids. I meant my
Yeah,
kids.
I understand what you said. My pit bull is my kid. So, I feel you. So last question, what is the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
I like the 80s and the 90s.
All right. We can hang out anytime. We better when you come scuba diving here. I actually got a really cool place to go to in Hope Sound, which is just north of Jupiter. Even better diving in Jupiter. Trust me. When you come here, we'll go.
Okay.
Bring your gear. I'll take you out. We have a little group that we go out. There's actually a nice drop off in a reef right out in Hope Sound, like Bathtub Beach and stuff. So you have to come with us.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. Yeah. So how can we find you?
You can find me. My website is rising-and-shining.com. You can find me on Instagram, Rise and Shine CF. You can find me on LinkedIn under Sheryl Mays. And you can find me on Facebook at riseandshine.success.
Awesome. She's got an awesome Twitter account as well. And your book, Silencing the Chatter Monsters. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that was a book that I wrote because on my journey of entrepreneurship, as I stated, you get so much information. And a lot of times people have a dream. And so the book is entrepreneurial and it's for your personal life. Sure. There is something that you want to do. And oftentimes you share that information with people and they're just negative. They're not the supporting people. They're not the encouraging people. Right. And so they begin to say things so much that you internally start to say them to yourself.
Yeah. And
so you have this dichotomy going on where you have this negative chatter, you have this internal negative chatter, external negative chatter. And so what the book does is it's a traveler and she's on a journey. Mm-hmm. And on her journey, she visits these 5 very successful, true, real business individuals, and they share with her rules of silencing the chatter and how they went through their business, how they, conquered all of that negativity and still realize that tomorrow does come. Mm-hmm. Once you have the ability to silence the chatter, provide clarity and focus, you too can accomplish your goals. And these individuals, each of them share rules that will allow you to silence the chatter.
Beautiful. Okay.
And in the end, she realizes that as she looks at these gifts that were given to her from these individuals, she realizes that she too has the ability to internally release that champion. Right. And go for what's going to provide her the most passion in life.
Love it. And hey, squad, I can't wait to read it. Do me a favor, when this episode drops, go to Time to Shine today to the link that I'm going to drop for, or the post I'm going to drop for Sheryl. And whoever comments first, I'm going to buy them and ship to them a copy of her paperback book. So that's a little something I want to give away to the squad as well. So, Sheryl, if you can do us just one last favor and please leave us with one last knowledge nugget that you want our squad to take with us, internalize, and take action on.
I would say set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hope.
Wow. So set goals to command your thoughts. That's fantastic. And, squad, we have just had basically a free, and that's a capital FREE masterclass with Sheryl Mays, who's really passionate about kids' education and animals. Fantastic. And she believes in teaching techniques that are going to overlap both personal and professional so you can sustain success and harmony in every pillar of your life. She's always asking powerful questions. And if your team is not at the level or you're trying to be an emerging leader, please reach out to Sheryl or myself, and I'll put you in touch. And all of the information will be in the show notes. And make sure that you're always operating at your level of brilliance. And that one really, you want to help people, help yourself get better, help other people get better, and then help people help others get better. And talk about paying it forward. That's making my friend Sheryl immortal, which is just amazing. And never lead to fear, ultimatums, and stay empowered. And we have just had a masterclass with Sheryl from Rising and Shine, and I feel blessed. She's so humble yet hungry. She levels up her health. She levels up her wealth. She's always getting after it, and now she's part of the Time to Shine Today squad. So thank you so much, Ms. Sheryl, for coming on.
I am excited to be here, Scott. Thank you, and thank you to your listeners.
Yay! Talk soon.
All right.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast, proudly brought to you by Sutter & Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you are a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.